What's going on, guys? Phil Daru back again with another video. So today I want to go over GPP, or building a base, right, for sled dragging. Now, what is GPP? General Physical Preparedness. This is what we do first before we start to go into camp or go into a season. We need to build a foundation of strength and aerobic capacity. So I like to use sled dragging exercises to increase their GPP going into a camp. Now, I've had questions in the past before about what type of exercises do I use with the sled, what type of implements do I carry on with it. So I'm going to give you a basic understanding and also give you 3 exercises that I like to go with, and then also just the formulation of the protocol so that you can do it at home. All right. So the focus points are going to be increasing oxidative responses to fast twitch muscle fibers. So basically meaning I'm increasing the aerobic capacity of your fast twitch muscle fibers. We're increasing the ability to produce force for a longer duration, but we're also giving that strength endurance component there in those large muscles that recruit a large amount of force. All right. We're also going to increase strength through the kinetic chain, right? Up the kinetic chain, all the way through to the upper body. Again, you can use certain types of exercises that are going to enhance that, even with the sled. The reason why I like the sled is because it's very simple for the athlete to use, right? They don't have to have a large amount of technical efficiency. It's very simple to do. And that's really going to carry over when we get into the higher demands or the specificity of the sport going closer to camp. All right. Now, we also want to provide a positive stimulus to increase the overall camp readiness, right? Or the season's readiness. So I'm giving them the stimulus to increase the muscular strength, the hypertrophy, and overall functionality to get them ready for their skills training. All right, let's get into some exercises that I like to utilize for GPP with the sled drag. Like I said, very easy, very simple to set up, right? But again, you can make it as hard or as easy as you need to, right? All I have here is a simple rope tied to a sled. You can get that at Elite FTS. You can get that at Rogue Fitness. They have a bunch of sleds online. Go check it out. If you can't get a sled, grab a tire, loop a rope around it, and then drag it through the sand. That just helps just as much. Again, you're not gonna get, full on torque or force going through, but it does give you the stimulus that you need to, at least for the time being, until you get a real sled. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a manageable weight. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, step in. And the first one we're gonna do is just a simple walk forward. Now I'm gonna utilize my hamstrings as I go to walk, so I'm actually stepping and pulling like I'm trying to scrape gum off of my shoe, and I'm pulling my way forward. So I'm increasing the capacity or the contraction of my hamstrings as I walk in that plane of motion. All right, here we go. So I'm here, I walk, and then I pull. Walk, pull. Notice every step is a start step. So I'm pulling as hard as I can, maintaining position, not getting out of balance, and pulling my way forward. The main thing with the sled drag going forward and you're pulling with your hamstrings is you want to maintain an upright position. You don't want to lean too far forward. Again, because we're pulling with the hamstrings, we're not using our quads to create force into the ground and acceleration. So that's another exercise that we're going to go into. So for this one, like I said, you want to utilize the hamstrings. Make sure you pull your way forward. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to go underneath with our hands inside our legs. And basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna lock down your lats. So you're gonna get a large posterior chain component into this one right here. So you're working from your upper back all the way down to your hamstrings. And I'm gonna step out wide in a sumo stance and pull my way forward again. So you're working the hamstrings, you're working even the calves, you're working the glutes, the hips, the upper back and the lower back all the way through this motion, because we're maintaining that neutral spine, but we're also bent over slightly right here in this position. So I'm locking down my lats, keeping that neutral spine. We're creating isometric tension with our back as we're moving dynamically with our feet and our legs. All right, here we go. From here, step, step. All right, guys, so the great thing about this one is that, again, you get to bring your legs out a little bit wider, so it opens up the hips for hip dexterity, and then it's a good transfer over to the sport of MMA, because again, if you're trying to dig for underhooks and things like that, you need to make sure that you have the ability to posture up and get inside, and so that you can lift your opponent up and do work to them. So again, this is good for that. Also, it's good just in general to build a base of strength in the posterior chain. All right, let's go to the next exercise. All right, guys, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw on an implement to help with upper body contraction and just get some activation there. So I like to use this. You can do this with farmer's carries. You can do this with a sandbag. You can use it with kettlebells, whatever the case. But I'm gonna use a med ball here today, and we're gonna do a carry that I like to utilize to increase the strength and stability in your anterior delts, your pecs, and into your entire anterior chain in general. So we're gonna be working the abs here, the obliques, and then we're gonna be walking forward. Now you wanna make sure that the sled has enough weight on it so you can get some tension there, right? So you can actually get some work in with your legs too as well as I'm driving forward. Plus, you're gonna be going into a slight lean here, so we're gonna be working more on that acceleration. So I'm working on my quads more than anything, as opposed to the last exercise where we were working our hamstrings. So the entire anterior chain right here is worked. In isometric tension, we also are gonna be working the mid back to upper back there too as well, and some of the lower back too, because we have to maintain a certain amount of posture. So I'm gonna grab a med ball, heavy enough. I usually like to go about 30 pounds up to even 50 pounds if you can sustain it for your strength level. And then as far as the sled goes, you wanna do about 1 to 1.5 times body weight on the sled. It's gonna be very heavy. Again, it's very taxing. This is something that's going to increase your strength endurance and your overall ability to do work. All right, so I'm gonna grab the med ball here, walk forward. I'm gonna take the med ball inside my elbows here, right on my forearms. I'm squeezing the ball. I'm not grabbing the ball here because that lets off a little bit of tension. I'm gonna squeeze my fists together, squeeze the ball, lean a little bit forward, and drive into linear motion. Okay, so again, to go over the sets and reps, we wanna make sure with the hamstring pulls, the first exercise that we did, we're gonna do about 10 upwards to 20 minutes total, right? We're gonna do 0.5 to 1 times body weight, and I want you to do that 2 to 3 times per week. And this can be done at the end of your training, right? If you're in the weight room, you can do this at the end, or you can do it as a recovery day too as well, all right? The wide stance pulls, right? We're in that sumo style where your arms are inside your legs. We're gonna do 6 to 8 trips total, right? It's gonna be 0.5 to 1 times body weight again, right? And you wanna rest about 30 to 45 seconds. Now I want you to do this type of exercise 1 to 2 times per week. Now, again, if you wanted to do both of them at the same time, I would go ahead and start with this and then go into your 10 to 20 sustainable pace with the hamstring pulls, all right? And lastly, the med ball iso hold, right? The sled drag with the acceleration phase there. We're gonna do 6 to 8 trips again, but we're gonna increase the weight 1 to 1.5 times body weight, right? And we're gonna rest 1 to 2 minutes total, or at least until you're 90% recovered. And then we're gonna do that 1 to 2 times a week. This would be done primarily right after a strength day. So again, if you're working on your strength, if you're working some type of a triphasic, or you're trying to build up some general physical preparedness inside the weight room, this is a good way to maintain that integration of the weight room, and you're gonna put that into your GPP with the sled drag and going further with some conditioning too as well, all right? So again, check those exercises out. If you have any other questions, hit the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, make sure the notification. Let me know if you like this style of video. Hit the like button. I'll see you again next time. Peace.
If you are a fighter or someone who wants to start training in MMA, listen up. My name is Phil Daru. I am the head performance coach of American Top Team. I train some of the elite MMA athletes in the world, such as Dustin Poirier, King Mo the Wall, Frankie Edgar, Junior Dos Santos, Edson Barbosa, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Going to MMA gyms or hiring a personal trainer can get extremely expensive over time. So if you want to get in shape and train using the exact program of the top MMA fighters for an affordable one-time price, check out Fight Ready in the description below.